soft girl life is the realistic things you want, or soft life is the realistic things you want for yourself. If you don't have people who treat you nicely, does that mean you're not going to treat yourself nicely? So hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're just seeing me, hi, my name is SINDYAKPOLO. Good to have you here. You're most definitely welcome. Just like I clicked on the title and the thumbnail, today I'm going to be sharing with you ways on how to live an intentional life and embrace the soft girl era life. There is this trend going around, especially on the internet, with living soft life, soft girl life, and you're not gonna be an exception to not live that life or live that kind of life. Soft girl life or soft life can also mean the baby girl life. Before we dive right into the video, I'm gonna be reading up the meaning of soft life on Google, or what it means. And on Google it says soft life is the act of simply living a life with less stress, worry and concern, making better decisions that benefit your overall well-being. You don't prioritize fitting in, following trends, just here to live your divine purpose. And the reason I chose this one, because there are lots of meaning on Google, and the reason I chose this one specifically is because it resonates with what I'm trying to say, especially here on this video. And I just want to let you know that a lot of people have a different perspective of what the soft life means or what the soft life is. First of all, ask yourself what soft life means to you. So you want to start by identifying what soft life means to you. What is the area of your life where you want things to be soft, you want things to be stress-free and less burdened for you. You want to make sure to identify those areas of your life, or identify that area of your life before you start to painting the picture or the image of what a soft life means. By doing that, you want to make sure that you take away the knowledge of what social media has painted soft life to be. Soft life means different things to different people. You want to make sure that the soft life you're anticipating for, or the soft life you're trying to live, is based on the present state, or based on your present state. Let's say, for example, you're a 9 to 5, or you work a 9 to 5, and you want to identify what soft life means to you. For example, you can say, because you work a 9 to 5 and you have zero or no time for yourself, soft life can be on the days you're free, or on the days you're not working, you turn on the TV and you decide to watch Netflix, or you decide to catch up on your favorite TV shows or the series. That is you embracing or living the soft life based on your present state. And also know that other people you see on social media that are living the soft girl life or living the soft era life, they are living according to where they are, or according to where they are in the present. When we talk about soft life, we're talking about your present state. We're not talking about your future self, or we're not talking about your tomorrow self. We're talking about the now self. What are you seeing? What are the recurrence you currently see in your life? And what is the area, what are the things you want to change? Now that's where you identify and you know the kind of soft life you want to live. Your own idea of soft life and someone else's idea of soft life would not be the same, because they are living their own soft girl era or soft life according to where they are, and you are also living your soft girl life or soft life according to where you are. When you've identified what the soft life means to you, now you want to become intentional. Now by becoming intentional, I mean by identifying or stating those areas of your life where you want soft. Again, I'm gonna be using a 9 to 5. Let's say, for example, you're a 9 to 5er and you don't have time to cook in your house. You're always eating out, and the time you have for yourself, your soft life can be you making your favorite dinner or making your favorite dish at home rather than buying the food outside, because at that point that is where your mind is currently at, or that is where you're currently at, to enjoying and eating at home with having a glass of wine or having a favorite drink alongside you eating your favorite, cooking or preparing your favorite food. Now I'm saying that because a lot of people would identify soft life in a different manner. Some person's soft life can be different. So your own soft life can be different. By being intentional, you're taking care of yourself, so you want to also start doing those things you don't normally do for yourself, like cooking your favorite dish or favorite meal and having it with your favorite drink at home as well, or having it with a bottle of wine at home. Or you can also have a bubble bath or have a good shower, because that is your own era of soft life, embracing your soft life, or being intentional, or taking good care of yourself, because that is where you're currently at. Someone else's soft life might be going to have a spa date, because that is where they are. They want to be pampered and all by going to have a spa date, but your case, you want to soak it all in and be present and feel the moment, or be in the moment. So by doing that, you're being intentional about yourself and also living the soft life. Next, we want to move on to gratitude. We want to make sure that you practice gratitude. Sometimes we get so carried away, we don't even acknowledge the things that we prayed for. Sometimes when you look at your life, you don't even understand that the current state you are in is what you've been praying for, or is where you've been praying to be. And now that you're currently living that life, you actually do not even know that you are living the life, or the kind of life you've been praying for. And again, also know that the kind of life you're living, or the present state you are in, that is also somebody's dream, or that is also a life that somebody has lived. So always be grateful for the things you have, or the things that you prayed for that came to pass, even if it's just one thing that you prayed for that you actually got for yourself. Be grateful for it, because sometimes when we set our goals, when we set goals and we are praying that, and we are saying that I wish I have this thing, or I wish to have this thing, and then when you have it, you actually do not know, or you actually do not even show gratitude for having that, or acknowledging that you have what you've been praying for. So always learn to practice gratitude, especially in the current state that you're in, because these are things that you've wished to have, or this is the place you wished to be, and now that you have it, you should appreciate it, or you should show gratitude, so you welcome more to come. So now we're gonna move on to the next one, and this one is one that is so dear to my heart, and I decided to include this alongside. So the next one is, do not compare yourself with others. Now when it comes to living the soft life, you want to make sure that you're living it for yourself. You're not living it for somebody. You're not living it based on somebody's perspective. You're not living it based on what somebody said that soft life is. You're living it according to where you're in. So let's say, for example, your own, what soft life can mean to you, or what soft life means to you. Somebody's soft life can be buying a private jet, or traveling on a private jet. Now that is because that is where the person is at that moment. Your own kind of soft life can be buying a Toyota car, or flying an economy class. That is simply because that is where you're in, and that is what you can afford. Do not look and compare your life to say, oh, this person is living a soft girl life and I am not living a soft girl life. You're living that life based on what you can afford, and based on the place you are, the state you are in, or based on the present outcome or present event of where you are. Sometimes we tend to look at other people's life and be like, oh, I wish I have what this person is, or I wish to live this person's life, without even acknowledging where you are in, or acknowledging the state you are in. Everybody's life is not the same. This person's version of soft girl life or soft life is different from your version of soft life. Your version of soft life can be because you can afford to pay your rent without asking for somebody's help. That is your soft girl life. Somebody's soft girl life or soft life can be buying a house, because that is where the person is. Your own soft life can be paying your bills. That is because that is where you're currently at. And again, there is something I want to put out there, is when it comes to soft girl life, everybody is living his or her own version of soft life. If you can afford to pay your bills without asking somebody for the bills, you are living a soft life. Let's say, for example, you want to eat out and you can't afford to pay in the luxury restaurant or in the fancy restaurant like what others do or what others are doing on social media, and you can afford to eat in the restaurants like Chicken Republic, like The Place, like Mega Chicken, or you can even afford to eat Panarotti's pizza. Would you now say that is not your soft girl era? Because you're not living, because you're not eating in a fancy restaurant. Now, the fancy restaurant where others are eating, that is where they can afford, and that is where they are at. And you can afford to eat in Chicken Republic. And for the fact that you even got the idea of going to eat in that particular restaurant, to even buy the food yourself, you are in your soft girl era. You should stop painting the image of saying you're only living a soft girl life when you have the fancy luxury things. Your own term of luxury can be different from what other people term as luxury. If I can afford to pay my rent and pay my bills, I am living my luxury life. I am living my luxurious life. Somebody can afford to buy a house and decide to buy other properties. That is the person's version of soft life. Your soft life era and this person's soft life era cannot be compared, because you're in two different states, and this is the state you are in, or this is the era you are in, and this is the era this person is. Don't compare your life or compare yourself with somebody else. That is one of the reasons why a lot of people feel like life is coming on too hard on them, and they are not living the kind of life, or living the baby girl life, or living the soft life they are in. Baby girl, you're just causing yourself more headache. Sometimes a lot of people don't even know that the tiny little things that people do can be termed as soft life. Let's say you live in Lagos and you've been jumping on Danfo bus. You all know the Danfo bus, right? You've been entering Danfo bus every day for your life. Let's say you go out 5 times a week, and for the 5 times you've been entering Danfo bus, but the very day you decided you want to take a cab, or a private cab, or a private car that will take you to your destination, does that mean you're not living your soft girl life? You are in your soft girl era. Somebody else's soft girl era can be that the person is entering the car every day. I mean, sometimes it's just these little tiny things that we don't even acknowledge, or we don't even see. Another way is to treat yourself nicely. Now, when it comes to treating ourselves nicely, a lot of people think that by treating ourselves nicely, we need to spend excess money on ourselves, or we need to travel on vacation. We need to go on vacation, travel to Dubai, travel to Bahamas, travel to Santorini. That is when we're living the soft girl era or soft girl version. But I'm here to tell you that if your soft girl version or soft girl era cannot afford to hop on a plane and travel to Dubai, travel to Santorini for that vacation, and you can afford to either stay in your house, turn on the lights, put on the TV to watch your favorite Netflix show without looking on your phone for that period, you are in your soft girl era. That person that can afford to go to Santorini, that can afford to go to Dubai for the vacation, that person is already in his or her own soft girl era. You should not, because that person is treating him or herself in that type of way, you decide that what you're doing is not living the soft girl era. You feel like you're not doing the nice things for yourself. Once in a while, try to sit down and ask yourself, this thing that I'm doing for myself, how often do I even do this thing for myself? Or sometimes sit down and ask, I stress and worry about little tiny things, and once in a while, why not sit down and not worry about anything for a moment, or just for a day, or just for 12 hours, or just for a few hours, and see how your life would transform, or see how your life would be. Some people's own soft girl era can be affording to buy a Louis Vuitton bag, or affording to buy a designer perfume, or the likes. And maybe your own era, or where you are at, is to afford to buy things from Zara or Shein. That's because that is where you're at. Or let's say, for example, you can afford to buy thrift wears. Would you say you're not living a soft girl life because you can't afford to buy a designer bag, or because you can't afford to buy designer clothes? I mean, these two things, they are not, sometimes these little tiny things are the things that we just stress over, little things that actually do not matter. I mean, and sometimes we feel like soft life is when we throw money on ourselves or throw money. I mean, we all love the fancy idea of throwing money on ourselves or baiting ourselves in money. But yes, when you don't have a lot of that lying around and you have little tiny things around you, you should appreciate and feel that moment, because these things comes once in a life, or everybody you see living their life, these are things that we only do once. And if you take away from that moment, you're not going to get it back. Acknowledging or treating yourself nicely based on the current state you are in would go a long way. Don't be too hard on yourself because you're not getting the idea of what somebody is painting as soft girl life, or soft life. Then you feel like you're not living the soft girl era. A lot of things come to play when it comes to living the soft life. Sometimes we should turn our eye away from what people are painting to be soft girl life. Now, I'm using all of these examples because people in the states where they are in, or in the current era where they're in, they feel like, oh, because I am currently living this kind of lifestyle, or I'm currently living this one, or this is where I'm at, therefore I am not living my soft life, or because I can't afford to use a certain designer, or I can't afford to get a certain designer, therefore I'm not living the soft girl life. Can I tell you something? Some people, they've never had people treat them nicely before. And if you don't have people who treat you nicely, does that mean you're not going to treat yourself nicely? And when I mean treating yourself nicely, it's just the tiny little things. Treating yourself nicely can be, again, like I said, having bubble bath, watching your favorite TV show, or if you can afford, lit a candle and enjoy the moment, or enjoy the moment you're in. But if you can't afford to do all of those nice things for yourself, even by sleeping or resting, you're allowing yourself to debunk all of those stress, or free yourself from all of those stress. Do you know that a lot of people, they struggle to get sleep? Do you know a lot of people struggle to even get all of these opportunities that you have? Do you know some people, they can't even afford to get a roof over their head? Do you know a lot of people can't even afford to pay their bills? Do you know a lot of people cannot even afford to get the tiny little things? Do you know a lot of people can't even afford to get clothes to wear? So do you know some people can't even afford to even get food to eat? These are tiny little things that we don't even see or even acknowledge, and we feel like because we're not living the social media image or term of soft life, then we're not living a soft life, or we're not in a soft life era. I mean, the state you're in, you're living a soft life. If you can afford to eat out, you're living your soft life. It doesn't matter where you're eating out, as long as that is something you've never done for yourself before, or that is something you've never done before, you're living your soft life. People have painted so many images, so many wrong images of what soft life is. And again, sometimes people are showing you what they are doing because again, that is the current state they are in, and you're in the state of watching them and be like, oh, this person is having a nice time, this person is having a good thing for him or herself. And when was the last time you treated yourself nicely? When was the time you had a good time for yourself? When was the last time you had a good self-care date for yourself? Those people, they decided to put their life out there, or put those things out in the social media because that is what they feel like doing. But you can decide not to put what you're doing out in the social media and still treat yourself nicely and still feel good about yourself without looking at what other person or somebody else is doing, or without thinking the person is living a nicer life than you are. Everybody's own path is not the same. What the social media or what people are putting out as soft girl life, again, is their era, and you can decide to read different meaning to what it is, but for yourself, and decide today to change your mindset, because all of these things, they start with the mind. It depends on how you're reflecting soft life or soft girl era. And once you have a positive mindset about living your soft girl life, you start embracing all of the things you never done for yourself, or all of the things you wanted and you now have, or all of the things that you now have, and acknowledging the tiny little things you have around you. You start embracing the soft-girl era and not worrying about what other people are doing or what other people have, or worrying what this person would think or what this person would say. Now stop it. What somebody else will say because you're doing this thing for yourself does not matter. The only person that those things should matter is you. Stop looking at what other people are doing and start today to do something nice for yourself. Start today to live your life for yourself alone. Before you worry about not living a soft life or not living a soft life era, look at your life and look at the things around you. Do they align with your purpose? Do they align with your belief? Do they align with you? If they do, baby girl, you're living your soft girl life. You want to make sure that you always reflect to the things you've actually wished for, and when they come to pass, you want to take time to acknowledge those moments, because these are things that you actually wished for and you actually wanted, and now that you're living that life, you should not ignore those things because you're not living the version of what somebody has painted, or because you're not living the version of what you're seeing on the internet. I mean, girl, you're stressing yourself over something that might not even matter after a while. By being intentional, you want to take note of the tiny little details or the tiny little things that are around you, that are happening around you, and those little things that you're doing for yourself that you've never done before. By being intentional, you're setting yourself, you're welcoming new season to your life. You're allowing yourself to see other opportunities or see other new seasons that would help and improve your life or the current state you are in. Rather than worrying about the things you don't have, you should switch it to acknowledging the things you already have or the things you currently have. That just creates windows to welcoming other opportunities to your life. Soft girl life is the realistic things you want, or soft life is the realistic things you want for yourself. You want to make sure that the era of soft life you want for yourself, they are realistic and they are the things that are actually based on your present state. So with soft life, we're not talking about future goals. We're talking about the things you want for yourself, the realistic things you want for yourself, the things you want in your daily life, the things you want in your current state of life. All right, guys, so I know I spoke a lot concerning this topic. Also, let me know your thoughts about the soft girl life and what your definition of soft life would mean, or what soft life means to you. So I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did create it. Also, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, do well to hit the subscribe button down below, turn on your post notification bell so you don't miss out on my official uploads, and check out my other videos you might find interesting on my channel, and stay connected.